Hello everyone and welcome back to Baron's Den for match 4 of the Bonehead Podcast League, where my Mordheim Undertakers take on Stratford's Celestial Stratolites. And this should be a good game because Stratford, first of all, well, 3 reasons why this will be a tough game. First of all, Stratford's a great coach. Has featured well in all Fumble leagues I've been to and tabletop tournaments he's at. And I'm sure Bonehead Ben's mentioned him about the league that they did as well a few years back, so he's a great coach. Second of all, I'm up against Amazons, which I have a terrible record against, new Amazons anyway. And thirdly, Amazons are a good team, even if I didn't have a poor record. So it's going to be interesting. I'm also giving away 160,000 TV, so you'll see what Stratford was able to buy. He went with Joseph Bugman. Did he get something else? He had 160, I think. We shall see. Okay, so I was put in. I don't think I won the toss, did I? Or did I? And he chose to kick. Let's have a pause. Yeah, so they chose to receive first, which is what I'd do with Amazons, because you don't want the opposition to get free hits on you. I've gone for my standard normal setup. And here we go. Big Frank taking the kick all the way to the back field. There's a timeout. And the ball's in a quite handy spot for me. I quite like it here. Because it just means that my fast players can run around if an opportunity presents. But it also slows the offense down. So initial blocks to my zombies. We get a pushback. And we get a serious injury with the very first knockdown, which is a bit annoying. Don't worry, regeneration will work. Oh, wait. No, it didn't. And then we had another hit. This was a 3-die block. With the big Jaguar Warrior blocker, the 3-die block helps to mitigate the fact that that Jaguar blocker hasn't got block yet. And he runs a few more players into position. And the blitzer comes in now. Luckily it's just a push. So we're only 1 player down, which could have been worse. Hit and run. Zoo. Just jumps back a little bit and then can use a bit more movement to run further back. A couple of other players moving into a position, and then they'll go for the ball attempt. Pick up with the sure hands piece, and pretty good first turn for Stratford. He's got a casualty. He's got a hold of the ball. And he's left nobody barring this one loner player in base contact. So yeah, very good start. So I just thought I'd talk about the players. We've got a line woman here with, I think it's sure hands, let's double check. Yep. We've got a strip ball line woman, a pro line woman. I think all of these were random, which is why his TV's low. However, he's got a Jaguar Warrior blocker with block, so she's a real tank now. And a line woman with block. And a line woman with, is that shadowing? Shadowing, yes. So I imagine she'll be one of the more expendable pieces in this match. And of course I'm still rocking Didier Dogbra with his block and Vorag Black Talon with his block. So there's the only improvements we've managed to make so far. But can't remember if I had the werewolf in the last game. But Sirius Lupin, affectionately named after both Sirius Black and Remus Lupin from Harry Potter. Yeah, so I don't know if I had him, but having another werewolf will help. Right, let's carry on. So I decided to come in and utilise the block that I have on the Wraith to at least get a player down, but I can't break armour, or, well, I can't even get the knockdown because it was a POW exclamation mark. Defender Stumbles, proper name for it. So I decided just to try and mark up some players, make it difficult for him to hit me back, but also give me a couple of hits in the next turn, because I had a feeling that casualties were going to play a big role in this game. So it was a terrible turn for me, really. Got no pressure on the ball, no casualties, absolutely nothing. So Stratford forms his cage, using line women mainly, freeing up his positionals to do other jobs. A slight repositioning here. Gets a 2-die block on my flesh column. Because he's got block, down he goes. But dodge away for the shadowing line woman. and a push to the zombie. And so once again, he's managed to end his turn with no players in base contact with me. So I'm only going to get the one blitz, which is really key for Amazons to make sure they're not constantly getting tagged. Because although they've got a dodge on a 3+, it's not automatic. So the Wraith, I managed to blitz in, get a 2-die block, and finally get someone down, and lo and behold, we get them off the pitch. So we're now evens in terms of player numbers. I move my Wraith back into a position that makes cutting this corner a little bit harder. To make sure my Ghoul's not an easy target. And I'm just making sure I've got a strong line in the middle. Once again, Flesh Column goes down, but block means that she's okay. Could punch through here because he's still got a blitz left, but he's probably only going to get a 1-die unless he uses the other blocker, which he didn't. So he's not quite ready to punch through. He's got plenty of time, doesn't need to. So again, he's got the strength 4 piece now in base contact with my Wraith, and she's going to nip out. Oh, and there's the double skulls to block the werewolf. However, it was a both down, so we've both got blocks and nobody goes down. So it's very tight and difficult at the moment. Zombie comes in. Werewolf marks this girl, so I can have a 2-die on her. She goes down. Thanks to Didier. Frank steaming in there to mark the players with his strength 4 brilliance. The Wraith manages to push this player, this line woman. But I didn't want to follow up because I want to still tag and make it harder for them to cut through. Pull my Ghoul back for a defensive sweeper position. And yeah, again, I'm trying to get a bit more base contact so I can get a hit next turn should anything go wrong. Once again, that Jaguar Warrior blocker has hit Frank. But he's a tank, so he just keeps going down and getting back up again. The Wraith manages to stay in base contact. We go through, and a 1-die block works. 1-die blitz, sorry. But still not looking to cut through my lines yet. And we have a 2-die on the Flesh Column. He stands firm. So we're still stuck in this middle scrum, but I think Stratford's happy with that because it's limiting the hits I get back on him. Oh, dodge out from the Amazon line woman, as she now is in a potential position to run away. And finally, we see a failed dodge. I think it was a 4+ dodge. And it was a KO, which is costly. So was it yes, it was a 4+ dodge. And a 3 and a 2. Right, let's carry on. So at this stage, I'm reasonably happy. I now have player advantage. However, I'm just not... I'm aware that they've got such ability to dodge out and smash through your lines. This is me trying to exert a bit of pressure. Still no good. I decide I want to get the Wraith onto the ball because of sidestep. Move my Flesh Column, my Werewolf to plug that gap. And I thought I might as well take a 1-die on the Jaguar Warrior because I've got block and she doesn't. She goes down, but crucially her armour holds. Move my Ghoul back a little bit. It's all very tense. And then we get a hit on the Flesh Column and his stand firm comes into play. No joy there. However, they pass foul appearance and they get the 2-die on the Wraith and manage to break the armour. Now, foul appearance, did that trigger then? And it was a reroll, let's just see. Looks like I can't remember. No, it was passed. It's alright, I just heard a noise. So the Wraith's down, the zombie's down. My defence is starting to look threadbare. He's still not quite ready to break through. Oh, an extra rush to get round the Wraith. Here comes the ball player. So he is getting ready for a sideline run, but a failed Amazon dodge has left them a little bit open. I haven't got an easy hit here because it's all difficult dodging spaces, so I play it safe, get the Ghoul in a position where he can tackle. Bring my werewolf round for some extra numbers. Lurch goes for a big old hit on the Amazon blocker, and she goes down. Which is very useful because she's got block and dodge and strength 4, so she's a tough bird to get down. This is me sneakily trying to get some base contact on the ball with my ghoul. And then my werewolf can come in. Potentially surf. But no good. But at least it was both down. So the ball comes back deep into their half again with only a few turns left. So not quite as good as I'd hoped, but not bad. So my Wraith is hit, but the sidestep keeps him in business. A pick up from the Blitzer. Yep, hand off to the other Blitzer, who then dodges through. And a couple of rerolls there. And the use of the Blitz means that they can use hit and run to go an extra square, but I've still got my ghoul here. So really, let's just pause that. Apart from that one dodge fail, we had a lot of 3+s here, where no rerolls were eaten. So I think we were a bit unfortunate that at least one of those didn't fail to either eat a reroll or cause a turnover. But once the ball was secure, that's when the bad dice happened. Right, back to me. I'm not too concerned because I can mark the zombie and then the ghoul can come and hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might need a rush to get there. But it doesn't matter because I rolled double skulls on a block player, the only outcome that could have seen us turn over there. And that does mean, on his turn 8, he's able to score. He blitzes away again, means he can use hit and run to buy a square, but I think he had enough movement anyway. So, what should have been, really, us going in at 0-0 after managing to almost surf that Amazon line woman. He did a really good pick-up, hand-off, blitz through to an open area, and then I double-skulled, which meant I couldn't defend it, which is a shame, but setbacks and all. I was going to get a turn 8 to try and do a little bit more damage to his team. And predictably, obviously, you pull all your players back, as it's only for one turn. You do not want to unnecessarily get them into any bother. And the line woman, the shadowing player, and the loner are the ones offered up to the necromantic. I decided to try and go for a strong line. I didn't think there was much point in going for it. I don't think I could have got a one-turner. And he got a blitz, which he obviously didn't use. I mean, I think I could have got a one-turner, I suppose, but I don't think I could be bothered to think through the permutations. Without sprint, I'd have to get one of the werewolves to frenzy push my guy at least 2 times, I think. So I thought I'd go for damage instead. So hemming this player in to try and get some claws. Well, claws wouldn't have mattered anyway, but try and get some blocks on her. I think I went with frenzy because it means I'd get 2 attempts. I've got no tackle, so again thought I'd make use of the werewolf's frenzy. But guess what? We've only got 1 stun out of all that. So they've finished the half with a potential throw in an attempt to get some SPP. But Vorag just throws it on the floor and then catches it, I think. So, not the best. Yeah, so, not great. So, any KOs, I think, have come back for him. So, let's have a look. Oh, there weren't any KOs. I thought there were. Oh, they've already come back from the previous kickoff, that's why. So slightly different setup this time. Obviously because he knows he's not facing a one-turner. So he's got the strength 4 pieces on the corner. I've got no guard, so I'm going to find it hard to... I'd have to one die with a flesh column if I wanted to take those out, or overlap a few players if I wanted to take the player behind out. Again, officious ref means my bull guy, Vorag, is stunned. So not the greatest start. And we roll plenty of terrible dice. And I've already eaten a re-roll. Shadowing nearly works. I decide to defend the ball but not pick up because I want my block dodge ghoul to pick it up because they've got no tackle either, so getting that ghoul down isn't going to be easy for them. But just no pows. Look at this, not a single pow. Frustrating. This is why Amazons can be tricky to play against when you haven't got any tackle. And I haven't got enough block to make use of the both downs either. So there's me just trying to get some hits. I've moved the line back a little bit. There's a player still in base contact here, but I haven't gone too heavy with base contact because I don't want them to be able to break through my lines. There we go, spread out a little bit. But this is the weakest spot, so that's where they can try and get around me. So, with a line woman there, she's a bit of a threat, so she's going to be somebody I have to think of carefully. Obviously, they're overlapping on this side, which does mean that there's potential, perhaps, for this side of the pitch. So to combat that, he's moved over his blockers, and got a nice chevron going on here. So, what do? Well, at first I thought, let's tag this line woman in case something else I try goes horribly wrong. Pick up a couple. My other zombie went down. Pick up my ghoul, who then guards the ball. Because then I'd change of plan. I thought, because he's gone weaker on this side, can I move the ball quickly? And we managed to get it over to the werewolf. And I thought, if the wraith can come in here, I could try and make use of all these players being stuck on this side of the board. So the wraith comes in to hit, because I'm learning from, not my mistakes, but from my experience of use the block players to get these Amazons down. So all of a sudden I've got a decent cage. I thought I'd put the werewolf further on to help break away should I need it. And yeah, I then failed a one die with a zombie. I thought, well, may as well try, as zombies are pretty expendable. So they knock down this zombie to try and free up some space for themselves. I'm never too worried about zombies taking hits though, unless they're defending. He then brings in his chevron to try and make sure it's hard for me to blitz through. And already you can see we are pretty surrounded. He's gone in with a blitz, but then it needed a rush, which has failed. And he ends up just pushing my ghoul. The other zombie does not survive. He gets a hit, and down he goes. So, from here, it's not terrible, but it's not great because there's not many easy blocks for me here, and I'm too far away to score, and it's too early for me to score anyway. So what I need to do is I need to try and cause some removals if I can, keep the ball safe. But because she's on the floor, I've got to be careful where I leave my ball carrier because she's strength 4. So I don't want to be leaving her to be able to get up and hit me with a 1 or 2 die block. So blitzing through with my werewolf, and I managed to get a KO. I can't remember why I did that, if I'm honest, because there's lots of players here, but I'm offering up a pro player with at least a 1 die block there. But I've then tried to move some players on to force a dodge. Maybe I was thinking that if I want to win this game, I need to score quickly. And yep, punished. So the line woman comes in, smacks him, he hits the sideline. Another successful dodge away. But drops the ball, and then the ball lands all the way over here. So let's just recap that. What I said I needed to do was get a bit of base contact, try and get a removal, but keep the ball safe. I didn't do that. I decided, actually, with this line woman here, she's a bit of a threat. I could have fouled her, I suppose, but I didn't want to lose any more players to her sending off. And I've got no sneaky git. So I thought, I know, if I punch through, I'm then reliant on them passing dodges to come out and 2-die block. And even then, I've got a decent number of players who can make life difficult. So I did it. They passed the dodges, which of course they would, because 3+ with a reroll isn't hard. Down goes my poor werewolf. And then they go and try and pick up the ball. Fail, which is good for me. But then it's gone out of play, and then it's gone right back down to my area. And look at here. I've got 2 zombies who can't go in that direction. I've got a zombie here. It's got 3 zombs. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Amazon players who are just a 3+ dodge away from picking up the ball. I have one hope, and that's Vorag. He needs to get that ball, and we somehow need to get him some defence. So Wraith comes in. Let's try and mark another player. The ghoul doesn't manage to get a hit, but at least he pushes forward and gets that Amazon line woman back a bit. It also means now that Frank can get onto the ball. I've put the flesh column there because I'm going to try and build a cage. And I managed to build one side of a cage, which I couldn't have done if I'd not moved this Amazon woman back a square. Had to use a reroll to get the Wraith into that position, which does defend me a little bit. And having my werewolf there means now there is an opportunity to come in blitz, but it's not an easy one anymore. So we've rescued that a little bit, but we now are running no rerolls. Managing to push that Amazon away is helpful. And I haven't pushed her into him because that would give them a 3 2-die block and free up some players. She can come round and blitz, but at the moment it would be a 1-die if she could mark up some if he could mark up some players. Sorry. So it's not been a great half for me, if I'm honest. I should have done better. I think I was unlucky in the first half, and then I don't know why I decided to try and break through. I think I was too concerned about the blocker. So he's marking up all the players, and he's ready for the blitz. But finally, we had a dodge that failed into another dodge, so there was no reroll allowed. And down she goes. I decided before I fail any dice rolls with no rerolls left, let's get the ball down the pitch. And then we'll see who we can get to protect them later. Make use of the Wraith's 2-die block. Zombie comes down to help mark this player and assist. So the werewolf can use its claws to cause some damage. Had to 1-die block that. And Didier manages to stun. And it was the blitz, so he was able to come round, which allows my Wraith to hit this line woman, and then my ghoul can hit this line woman, and then the flesh golem can push this line woman back. So at this point, this is the big threat because of strip ball, but because of where I've positioned players, it's hard for her to come round to do the block. However, it manages to rush this line woman in, which means we only need a dodge to get the blitz. However, if I just pause, I think it was the blitz, wasn't it? Was it the blitz? Yeah. So, because my ghoul was here, that's the tackle zones, the zombie tackle zones, and the werewolf tackle zones, it meant that it was always going to be a 4+ dodge to get out into any square to blitz the ghoul. So 4+ with a reroll, it's not impossible, is it? It's 75% chance, I think. but it gave myself the best possible, I think, given the lack of players, chance to keep him safe. And then even if she did get out, let's say the 4+ into a 4+ succeeded, it would be a 2-die block with a Blodge player. So I was hopeful that Blodge would come in and save, should the dodges work. So again, moving some players around to give me some 2-die blocks and to make it harder for the Amazons to get up and counter my offence. Make use of the potential surf, but I actually, for once, take the player down first time. But we managed to stun, so I then used the werewolf to come back up to make it hard to dodge through. My ghoul then hangs on the goal line to stall for at least a turn. And then, good old Lurch takes himself out, seriously injures the Amazon blocker, but the Apo saves her. But she's off the pitch now, so well done, Lurch. A couple of star player points for you as well, mate. So now it's all about how long can I, because I just couldn't see myself going on to win this now. No re-rolls. I thought, I'm not going to be reckless. If he manages to get players round and he has a chance of taking me out, then I would score. But I would try and get some more removals and see if I could stall out another turn or so. So all about getting players into base contact and also making it hard for them to dodge away. I didn't put them in the surf position because I'm not so bothered about that. I want to stop her from dodging out as easily. So I've moved a few players around, and then I think if I can kill her, then I can stall. Guess what? I'll get another chance, but dodge saves again. So at this point, if I pause there, it's unlikely that they can stop me. Strip ball, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. It would be, she can't get to us. She would have to do 4+, 4+, 3+ to get to me, and a couple of rushes. It was this person that was worrying me. I was worried that, potentially, could another player have come in here? So that would, at the moment, that would be a 1-die. It would be worth a go, wouldn't it? Or you just go straight into a 4+ dodge, 3+ dodge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With the pro skull as well, I just figured there was still a chance for me to mess this up. Blodge should save him anyway, but I was a bit paranoid. So I scored. I moved one square and thought, no, I'm okay. And then I thought, you know what? Let's not tempt fate. Let's go for it. Let's get the touchdown. Plus, I thought, you never know, something crazy happens on the kickoff. It might give me an opportunity. But I've also got to be wary that he would have an opportunity to score as well. So he has 2 turns, I have 1 turn. So it'd have to be a blitz, really, for me to have a chance. So I went for a column defence, then I just completely changed my mind. And I went with my usual setup. Joseph Bugman joins the pitch. Now I did think, should I have put my... Because I don't always put my golems and wraiths on the line, because you have to think about the 1-turn touchdown. However, I thought there's still a few turns left in this game. So I didn't know if they'd want to go for the 1-turn touchdown. It would also require quite a lot of rolls, and he has no re-rolls left. So those players are coming in, making sure that they've got catching potential. My zombies doing what they do, just be a wall of flesh. Very proud of them. Sammy Scarecrow taking Bugman. Sorry, not taking Bugman, but not getting taken down by Bugman, should I say. And the blocker on Simon Pegg, he survives as well. She moves in to mark the flesh column. And the blitzers doubling up on the wraith. She tries to come through. And I don't know if it's because she wants to mark the werewolf, but she then is off the pitch and they didn't pick up the ball. So now the big threat for me are these two players here. So I need to neutralise these two. I've only got one turn, so I can't score. Use the pace of the werewolf to make sure I'm marking both, and really ideally I want to blitz one of them as well. So I use the ghoul to do a bit of blitzing, so Vorag, and he only gets a push. So I've got to think here, what do I want to do? And I thought, no, I've got to mark them up. As many as possible to make it hard for them. To do a handoff and then to do a sprint out. We take down, who is it who takes Bugman? Sammy Scarecrow absolutely kills Bugman. Highlight of the match for me. Sammy Scarecrow killing the star player. Well, not killing him, badly hurting the star player. I then rush in Simon Pegg to help the Dread Widow take down this player. Again, I keep in close proximity to this blitzer because I'm worried that she's going to blitz, dodge out to do some blocking, blitzing down here. And then I fail with a rush with my flesh column. It's exactly what she does and takes down the ghoul. So it was on, but a failed dodge here does mean it's the end of the match. And it ended 1-1, which over the course of the game I think was a fair result. I think we both had elements to that were unlucky and lucky. I think I played, once again, I think I played better in defence than I did in offence. And I was unlucky to concede. But then I was a little lucky to get the ball back. I say I was unlucky to concede. That's not strictly true. He did really well to recover from losing the ball to score that touchdown. But some of those pickups could have failed. The ball could have ended up anywhere after it had gone out of play. I wouldn't mind not have double skulled with the wraith, which meant I couldn't then use my ghoul. But you could argue maybe I shouldn't have done. Maybe I should have waited and used the ghoul first. I think it's because it needed a rush, and I was worried about that failing, so I thought the ghoul hit is safer to do first with no re-rolls. But then second half, trying to push through that werewolf at the time, I was doing the replay and saying this is what I should do, and then I didn't do, even though I'd already done it, and I'd obviously forgotten that I'd done it like that, so that was quite funny. So yeah, I think a draw is a fair result. I made some good moves in the match, and I also made a couple of mistakes. The balance of luck was there, but it's a good result for my team because it means now we've managed to play one of the best players, I think, in the league, one of the best coaches, with one of the best teams, Amazons, and we don't have to play that match again in the league bit now. And hopefully, if we do play each other again, maybe in the finals, I'll have a bit more tackle to help me take down some of these line women and Amazons in general. So yeah, really pleased with the end results, all things considered. Now I can't show you the rankings because I've actually played another game since then, and so that'll show you what the table is like after the next game, and the same with the team. I did go, I think, for a random on Simon Pegg, who got one, and I was talking to Stratford after the game. We said, depending on what skill he gets, we'll have to name it after something to do with Shaun of the Dead. And I remember saying that, if he gets Dirty Player can represent the cricket bat in Shaun of the Dead, or we said something like Fend, or Shadowing could be the skateboard that Tim has in Spaced, and he randomed Fend in the end, which I'm not a big fan of Fend on zombies. It's okay. I don't think it's a sackable skill, put it that way. I'm not going to get. I wasn't going to get rid of him just because he got fend. But equally, I'd have rather had block, wrestle, dirty player, kick. So it's in that midfield of skills that are okay, but not disasters like shadowing. Of course, with season 3 coming, shadowing may be a better option now. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that match. Again, it was a great match, great fun to play. It was great to play a good coach like Stratford again. And yeah, I've played match 5, so match 5 should be coming soon. I've been a bit distracted with all the Blood Bowl season 3 news for the tabletop recently, but I'll have to get that game recorded and online soon. And yeah, then we'll be over halfway. There's 4 games to go from this one. I've only got 3 games to go now, and then we'll be getting closer to the finals if we can squeak into that top 4. Alright, that's it from me. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the match. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.